That major rescue operation is underway in China following the country's worst earthquake disaster in 3 decades.
24 hours after the quake, and they are desperately, furiously pulling survivors from the rubble.
Soldiers are working side by side with fathers, mothers and friends to dig through the rubble. They're in a desperate race against time. The death toll has soared past 12,000.
The real heartland of this tragedy is 90 kilometres northwest of provincial capital Chengdu, where at least one school collapsed, burying 900 students, most from years 8 and 9.
I think I'd describe it as organised chaos. It's you know, there are people sort of running around everywhere. There is people everywhere, but there's also tents pitched and you know, water being handed out, food being handed out.
Treasurer Wayne Swan has delivered a record surplus of $21.7 billion.
This is a budget that tips the scales back in favour of working families.
We have to make a tough judgment here. And do people earning more than $150,000 a year actually need this as much as other people who are on much more modest levels of income? We've taken a hard decision and said this is probably where the line lies.
A rise in unemployment is one of the biggest stings. Treasury admits between 50 and 60,000 more people will be out of work in a year as the government wages war on inflation.
This is not a budget that will make it easier to buy food, put petrol in your car or keep you home.
With $33 billion in savings over 4 years and increased payments for working families, it seems wealthy Australians are the biggest losers.
Robin Hood may have just fired off his first humble arrow.
We've been awaiting 4 years for the Sex and the City movie, and it's just hit the screens at the world premiere in London.
It was mayhem and pandemonium. There were fans camped out since 4 in the morning, and the stars didn't even start arriving till after 6.
How does it feel to have your dream up on the big screen finally?
It feels worth every, obstacle and every resuscitation, and it's rather miraculous, actually.
What was it like to step back into Carrie's shoes? I mean, figuratively and literally.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
Sunrise returns tomorrow from 6 a.m.